pointed toward another section of the tree. A Nutcracker prince and a mouse king. Pretty much a dead giveaway. They are a teeny bit obsessed, I said, unable to repress a sigh. It makes sense, of course. Richard's new production of the Nutcracker is their first time on stage, and it seems they both have inherited their father's love for performing. And his talent, I hope, Sonny said, shooting me a wicked grin. I was sure she meant rather than your lack of it. I wrinkled my nose at her, not really upset about her comment. I knew my limitations and was honestly glad that my 5-year-old twins, Nicholas and Eleonora, took after my husband when it came to athletic ability. Thankfully, although I do feel like the odd person out sometimes, since my dancing skills are mediocre at best. Oh, I don't know, Amy. You do okay dancing with Richard. Sonny studied the tree, her blue eyes sparkling with good humor. As would anyone. He's a great partner, I said. Anyway, now that Nicky and Ella are going to be in the Nutcracker party scene, they've been listening to the score nonstop. Which was okay the first 100 times. Sonny cast me another grin. Kids that age don't mind repetition, do they? I know our storytime kids are always asking me to read the same picture books over and over. I can recite several by heart. You and me both. I smiled, once again grateful that Sonny, who'd completed her Master of Library Science degree shortly after my children were born, had agreed to share the position of library director with me. It was an arrangement that allowed me to continue working and still have enough time for my unexpectedly expanded family. Fortunately, it was beneficial for Sonny as well. With her grandparents, Carol and P.J. Fields, now in their 80s, she'd taken over management of Vista View, the family's organic farm. The funds the farm generated were enough to supplement the director's salary she shared with me, especially since she lived rent and mortgage-free in the family home. Although the director's salary isn't that much, I thought, it was fortunate that my husband had a successful career as a choreographer and teacher, and that he'd inherited our historic 1920s farmhouse, so we were also mortgage-free. It was the only way I'd been able to afford having my salary. I agree with you about changing the decorations this year, though, I said. The vintage ornaments are beautiful, but it seems more appropriate to showcase our patrons' talents during the town's new festival. Building community spirit. Wasn't that the whole point of Winterfest to begin with? Sonny stepped back, her gaze fixed on the decorated tree, even if some people seem to have forgotten that part. You mean the festival chair? I shook my head. I don't know what the mayor was thinking, placing Wendy Blackstone in that position. He had to know what a pain she can be, if only from her antics when she's addressed the town council. Well, Marty hasn't really been a resident of Taylorsford that long, even if he has lived in the area for years. Sonny dusted glitter from her hands. And you know how it goes. Wendy was probably the only person who volunteered. It's a pretty big job, setting up a town festival. Most people wouldn't want to take that on. I was sure Sonny was right. Before going to grad school, she'd served as mayor of Taylorsford for a few years. She knew all about the difficulty of getting people to step into volunteer positions. Sonny flicked Nicky's Mouse King ornament with her finger, making the wooden spool and pipe cleaner figure bounce like it was dancing. Speaking of the Nutcracker, I picked up tickets for opening night yesterday. Will Fred be back in town by then? Or is it just you and your grandparents? Sonny glanced over at me. We're all going, although it will only be Fred and I on opening night. The Grands are going closing night. They said they wanted Fred and me to have our own date night, and they wanted one for themselves as well. The Grands adore Fred. You know. She rolled her eyes. They've been dropping little hints about a holiday engagement for months. I offered her a sympathetic smile. Sonny, who'd been dating private investigator Fred Nash for several years, still insisted that she had no plans to get married. I believed her, but it seemed her grandparents, once flower children living a vagabond life, had turned more traditional in their old age. I keep telling them they're devolving into fuddy-duddies, but I know they just want me to be happy. Which, as I also inform them regularly, I am. Sonny tossed her silky hair behind her shoulders. Although she was now 42 and a few laugh lines fanned out from the corners of her lovely eyes, most people assumed she was still in her 30s, especially since time had